Determining the structure of a skyscraper is complex and technologically challenging. Engineers rely on a step-by-step design process to guide their work. So, where do they start? Identify the challenge.
Designing a building is sort of like any sort of problem solving. You first need to identify what the problem is you have to solve.
The building is like the end of a process. It isn't the beginning, it isn't the start.
Once the design challenge is identified, engineers are ready to do research and brainstorm.
Brainstorming is a vital part of the process because as you design a building, you come up with new ideas.
In my experience, the first solution is never really the best one. In the process of brainstorming, I get different ideas from different people.
While researching, engineers weigh the benefits and costs of each design decision, both to the project itself and to society. These considerations are called design constraints.
I have this phrase that I use as a guideline for my work, and that is, a building must be safe. S-A-F-E. Primary, it must be safe. Safety is important. A stands for it must be aesthetic. It must look good, and it must suit the need for which it has been designed. F, it must function properly. By functioning, I mean it must have sufficient size and shape and access and so on, so that people don't feel somehow uncomfortable. And E means there is an economic side to it, that I must make sure that at the end of the day, the price that it's supposed to cost, that's what it costs.
The next step is to design a solution. Engineers use the information from their research and brainstorming sessions to come up with a variety of possibilities to solve the original challenge. They then make drawings and plans outlining their ideas. But how do they know that their design will work? They test their ideas.
For engineering, testing is very important.
We need to make sure that what we're doing is going to stand up against the forces that act on it.
Engineers build a prototype or model and then test the prototype to make sure it will stand up against loads or forces that will act on the structure, like gravity and wind. What comes after testing? Evaluate.
To evaluate it means that you have to take a look at your solution and see whether it solved the problem. We may give it to some other engineer who will check what you're doing, just as a teacher would check a homework problem.
The engineering team presents their solution, but if the design doesn't solve the challenge or satisfy the constraints, it's back to the drawing board. More research and brainstorming, new designs and retesting. Only when they've come up with the best possible solution is the design process complete, and they're ready to build it.
Before you build a structure, you need to identify what tools you have.
Where are all my materials going to come from? Who's going to build it? How many people? And what skills do they need to build it?
And at each step in the process of building a skyscraper, engineers evaluate their work and the work of the construction team. Like engineers David Pravat and Susan Knack, you can use the step-by-step design process on projects of your own. Identify the challenge. Brainstorm. Design a solution. Test ideas. Evaluate. Build it. The next time you look at a skyscraper, a bridge, your own school even, think about all that goes into building it. Think big.